Hello, everyone. Let's take a look at some different situations and some possible challenges we might have. And I'd like you to put your hands up if you think that these situations can be handled only through academic knowledge. So, for example, the challenge of a family, of raising a family. Is this something that you can do only based on academic knowledge? Some people think it's okay, that academic skills, of course, can come in handy, but many of you are agreeing that perhaps not only academic skills are key. Let's take a look now, as Alexandra's doing. What are some of the possible qualities we would need? For example, when we talked about doing the exam, it's not just academic skills. You probably also have to be quite consistent and patient, dedicated to pass an exam. So let's try to think of some qualities we might need to face these situations. So somebody said that, for dealing with family situations and things like that, good. We might need social skills. We might need patience. It's very good. Time management, oral skills. I like that one about emotional intelligence. Very good. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to raise your hand, for those of you who work with young learners, or even if you're working with older learners, if any of these situations sound familiar. So for example, we have the situation of they won't sit still. They get very distracted. Everyone wants a turn when we play the game. They forget the things we studied last month. They're so talkative. So let's see, hands up if 2 or 3 of these situations sound familiar to you. Some of the things I said, I think we can work on values with young learners. Some of you mentioned things like, manners and culture. All of this could be tied in, I think, to values. And actually today's session, because it's quite a short session, will be focused on values and teaching children a little bit about moral and civic education. As you know, the book that we use, the book that I worked on, is called Explorers. And one of the things that we use is this explorer's figure. Here's our explorer's boy and the explorer's girl, who help us, amongst other things, to teach sort of values and manners and this idea of helping others in class, of being healthy and having healthy food. Well, here's the explorer enjoying her tostada con tomate y aceite and her morning coffee. So yeah, making sure that kids know that they need to have breakfast before they come to school. And again, doing it through using the explorer, through using this little figure, can be a lot easier than the teacher sort of coming up and saying, why haven't you had your breakfast, or where's your breakfast? You can actually have the explorers do that for you. Again, we spoke about showing respect for members of the family. So for example, here we have an example of a song called My Super Sister, where a little boy is describing all of the things his sister can do and how proud he is to have such a wonderful sister in his life. In this case, quite a typical situation where mommy and daddy are going out and have left the children with granddad, and sort of negotiating bedtime and negotiating what to do with granddad. So things like this. If we want them to show respect for each other, we want them to show respect for good habits, if we want them to show respect for other people and members of the family, at least try to show good models of this. We're not saying that we're going to be able to teach the whole child in all ways as of tomorrow, but I think that we need to, little by little, try to involve academic and non-academic skills into our classroom. And I like what Alexandra says, I learn something new every day, especially when I'm teaching. Just as our final thought for today, I think here this is a very good quote, and I think this sort of sums up what I wanted to get across today, that really the highest function of education is to bring about an integrated individual who is capable of dealing with life as a whole. Okay, bye everyone.